I had done a previous video where I believe that the majority of Trump supporters are people that demonstrate deplorable attitudes, if not being totally deplorable themselves. This particular segment of the Roland Martin show is basically going to substantiate some of the things that I was saying in that previous video.
Speaking of speeches, yesterday Donald Trump was speaking in Baltimore. He ain't gonna see black people. He was talking to the National Guard, and he had some tough things to say about Hillary Clinton basket of deplorables comment. Okay, here's what Hillary said. I'm gonna tell you what Donald Trump said.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
Now, I had previously said that she shouldn't have used the word half. And I'm going to be honest with you, I reassessed my position on that, and I think that she was right, that it was half, at least half.
All right, here's Donald Trump yesterday blasting Clinton.
I was thus deeply shocked and alarmed this Friday to hear my opponent attack, slander, smear, demean these wonderful, amazing people who are supporting our campaign by the millions. Our support comes from every part of America and every walk of life. Hillary Clinton spoke with hatred and derision for the people who make this country run. She spoke with contempt for the people who thanklessly follow the rules, pay their taxes, and scratch out a living for their family, a hard-earned living too.
Now, on that one, he is basically confirming what Clinton said when she said that people are desperate, when he's talking about scratching out a hard-earned living. Those are people that need help and are looking for hope, okay, that things are going to get better. So in my mind, that's a confirmation of what Clinton said.
The disdain that Hillary Clinton expressed toward millions of decent Americans disqualifies her from public service. You cannot run for president if you have such contempt in your heart for the American voter, and she does.
And you should not be able to run for president when you have such contempt in your heart for the American people, because you pandering towards racism, xenophobia, homophobia, misogyny, that is railing against the American people who don't share those same attitudes.
Well, clearly the Trump campaign plans to use this as a major attack against Hillary Clinton. She later apologized for that comment. She said, of course, that she only regretted making, quote, a grossly generalistic statement and using the word deplorables. Well, okay, gotcha. All right. Sorry, using the word half. Okay, let me break this down to our panel. Chris, I want to start with you. NBC News survey monkey poll from February. 2/3 of Trump supporters an unfavorable view of American Muslims. It's a fact. 87% wanted to ban Muslims from entering the U.S. Reuters Ipsos poll from June. 58% of Trump supporters had an unfavorable view of Muslims. 52% opposed rights for LGBT Americans. 50% of Trump backers saw blacks as violent and criminals. 40% said blacks were lazy and rude. Public policy poll in May. 65% of Trump supporters say President Obama is a secret Muslim. 59% say Obama was not born in the U.S. Pew Research Center poll this year. 69% of Trump supporters say immigrants are a burden to America. 50% say immigrants will commit serious crimes. Sound pretty damn deplorable to me.
Well, It's for me. It's a bad time to be a Republican. Because look, first of all, for him to come out and to say that she's running a hate-filled campaign, it goes back to this whole notion of pot meet kettle. Because he, from the very beginning, started this whole kind of hate campaign, and so for him to say, and she's therefore disqualified from running from, come on, man, move away from that.
Cleo?
Can I just shake my head? Is that enough of a commentary?
Okay, all right, Lauren.
I think it's ridiculous, obviously. I mean, we watched at Trump rallies, black people get pushed out of the rally by white supremacists.
Push, hit, punch.
People get punched in the face in North Carolina. We have a candidate that didn't want to acknowledge who David Duke was, and then we found a reel of him talking about David Duke. So
But even yesterday,
Donald Trump wants to play this game of acting like his, and then he hires Steve Bannon. I mean, this idea that somehow it's irrelevant, all of these things, and that they don't mean anything.
But even yesterday, his VP candidate, Governor Mike Pence of Indiana, would not even call David Duke deplorable.
I can remember the first real stop that Trump made was in Alabama, and I remember the reporters at the Post trying to sort of leave out of the story the fact that they'd heard the N-word and some of the racism at that rally, and that was almost a year ago. And it's sort of like, this is what this campaign has been, and that's what his supporters have been from the very beginning. Now, whether or not Hillary Clinton should have articulated that is another story, because I think a surrogate would have been better off saying that.
But Cleo, here's the problem. All these media pundits out here, oh my goodness, Hillary Clinton should apologize. No, call it like it is. And it's like, and they are unwilling to say bigots. Racist. They are, and I'm, first of all, and very few of them look like us. But the reality is, I mean, I remember, to your point about the rallies, they even would cloak it in terms of, well, they're unsettled by their changing racial dynamics in America.
Right.
And this is on NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN.
White reporters have always had a problem in our history with really calling out racism. It's very tough.
They're unsettled by the racial change.
It's difficult to call a kettle white. The pot calling the kettle white.
So during the civil rights movement, the same type of reporting.
Chris,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, look. At the end of the day, when we talk about Trump, there are a number of things relative to this deplorables. First of all, his behavior throughout this entire election has been deplorable. So that's number one. Number two.
So he's deplorable in chief.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. Number two, I think she's right when she says, I was wrong for saying half, because I think it's probably more than half.
Right. She's factually correct. It's about 65%.
Yeah. So I think you have,
including the press, who don't, like you said, who won't address issues, who won't unpack these issues, who won't call a man a bigot, who won't call him a racist, who won't call him a militant, a white militant.
The press. So I
first of all, the press has created alt-right.
Right.
No,
that's right.
It's white supremacists.
Yeah.
It's white nationalists. Call it what it is. Stop coming up with a new name. Oh, it's the alt-right.
Yeah.
No, it's white supremacists. And they can't wait for him to win. Yeah. I mean, they are sick. And your point, Steve Bannon ran Breitbart. Stafford said that man ran meetings like a white supremacist. Yo, that's what you got here. So
how long have I been saying that similar sentiment on this show?
That's what they call you, super black.
Alone, the fact that he won't even come out and denounce David Duke is huge.
Precisely.
So,
all right. Well, bottom line is, y'all, deplorables are running for president. Accept that as a reality. All right.
Deplorables are in the media, running the media, and not being real about racism in the world.
Well, that's true, but we real. When we come back.
All right. So that basically just gives you a little bit more context as to the percentage of people who demonstrate a willingness to accept deplorable actions, deplorable opinions. If they're willing to accept them, they are deplorable.